Why that person keeps coming back in your thoughts. A message from Allah. Have you ever wondered why someone keeps popping into your thoughts even when you least expect it? Maybe you're going about your day and suddenly their face, their voice, or even their name appears in your mind. It happens so suddenly, and it's hard to explain. But what if I told you this isn't just a coincidence? What if it's a message from Allah? In this video, we'll uncover the hidden meaning behind why that person keeps coming to your thoughts and the powerful lessons it holds for you. These lessons aren't just about what's happening in your life. They are messages that guide you towards something greater. Stay with me till the end, because the final lesson could change your understanding of these mysterious connections forever. 1. A reminder from Allah's plan. Sometimes when someone keeps crossing your mind, it's Allah's way of reminding you that they have a role in your life. It's not by accident. Allah has a divine plan for all of us, and when someone's presence lingers in your heart, it could be because Allah wants you to think about them for a reason. Think about it. When Allah wants us to pay attention to something, He puts it in our hearts. So if that person keeps appearing in your thoughts, it could be a reminder from Allah about your relationship with them. Maybe it's time to reach out or to simply reflect on how they impact your life. 2. A sign of unspoken connection. There are moments when someone enters your mind and you haven't even spoken to them in a long time. You might wonder, why now? In Islam, we believe that souls are connected in ways we can't see. The bond between you and that person might be stronger than words. Your heart can communicate with theirs, even when you're not physically present. Sometimes these thoughts are a sign that your hearts are aligned. Allah connects souls with unspoken ties, and these thoughts may be a way for you to acknowledge that deep connection. 3. Unanswered questions in your heart. Have you ever found yourself thinking about someone, even when you're not sure why? Perhaps you don't fully understand the feelings or thoughts you're having. It can be confusing, especially when there's no clear reason for them to keep coming to mind. Sometimes it feels like your heart is telling you something, but your mind can't quite grasp what it is. Allah teaches us that our hearts are powerful. They can lead us to answers, even when we are unsure or confused in our minds. It's important to understand that our hearts are not just random organs. They hold deep wisdom, and sometimes they guide us in ways we can't immediately understand. In fact, your heart can sense things that your mind may not yet be able to explain. When someone keeps coming to your thoughts, it could be more than just a coincidence. Allah might be preparing you for something important, perhaps an answer that will help bring clarity to the situation. This could be about forgiveness, healing a broken relationship, or even simply understanding the person in a way that you never did before. Sometimes our hearts recognize truths before our minds do. Allah's plan unfolds in His time, not ours. If you keep thinking about this person, it's likely that Allah is guiding you towards something that will make sense later. It could be that there's something unresolved between you and this person that needs attention, whether it's forgiveness or an act of kindness. Or it might be that Allah is preparing your heart to understand the situation better, perhaps to look at the person with more compassion or understanding. Trust that even if you don't have all the answers right now, Allah is guiding you. He knows what you need, and when the time is right, the clarity you're searching for will come. Whether the answer is related to healing, closure, or something else entirely, Allah's plan will always reveal itself at the perfect moment. All you need to do is trust that He knows best, and that the feelings in your heart are leading you exactly where you need to go. When you feel uncertain or confused, know that it's okay to lean into your faith. Ask Allah for guidance through prayer and patience. Even if the answer doesn't come immediately, trust that Allah is working behind the scenes, bringing things together for your good and for the good of everyone involved. 4. Allah's way of bringing you closer to Him. When someone continues to appear in your thoughts, it's not just a random event. Allah has a way of using the people in our lives to guide us, teach us, and bring us closer to Him. These moments of reflection about someone could be Allah's way of reminding you of the greater purpose behind everything we experience. Nothing in life happens by accident, and everything is part of His divine plan. The people we encounter, whether they are family, friends, or even strangers, have a role in our journey toward spiritual growth. Sometimes, when someone keeps appearing in your thoughts, it's Allah's gentle way of nudging you toward a deeper connection with Him. Our hearts are often drawn to people, whether for good or bad reasons, and this pull is often Allah's reminder to us that there is something we need to learn or understand. It could be that the person you're thinking about is going through a hard time, or they might need your prayers. Allah places people in our hearts not just for us to think about them, but to use those thoughts as a way to connect with Him. When we think about someone, it can open the door to prayer. It might be a sign that you need to make dua, or prayer, not just for them, but also for yourself. Dua is not just a request to Allah, it's a conversation with Him. It's a way of turning to Allah and asking for His mercy, guidance, and help. If the person in your thoughts is someone you care about, making dua for them is an act of love and compassion. By doing so, you are not only praying for their well-being, but you are also connecting with Allah in a meaningful way, seeking His wisdom and understanding. In these moments, your heart is reminded that the connection we have with others is never just about them. It's about how Allah uses that connection to bring us closer to Him. Thinking about someone isn't just an emotional reaction. It can be a spiritual experience. When you feel your heart tugging at the thought of someone, it's an opportunity to reflect on Allah's mercy and wisdom. It's a reminder to seek guidance from the One who knows everything, not just about the person on your mind, but about you as well. Allah knows what's best for both you and the person you're thinking about, and through these thoughts, He might be guiding you toward something greater. Allah might be asking you to check your intentions, to pray for the strength to forgive, or to offer a kind gesture to someone in need. It could be a sign that you need to find peace with someone, or perhaps it's a prompt to pray for their happiness, health, or success. Whatever the case, Allah is the one who understands the true depth of these connections, and by turning to Him in these moments, you acknowledge that His guidance is what you truly need. Thinking about someone repeatedly isn't a sign to act out of impulse or emotion. Rather, it's an invitation to seek wisdom through prayer. It's an invitation to surrender your heart to Allah and trust that He will guide you to the right path for both you and the person on your mind. There is a greater plan at work, one that you might not fully see at this moment. But by using these moments of reflection as opportunities to pray, you open yourself up to Allah's mercy and understanding. And through this, you grow closer to Him, trusting that He will guide you through whatever feelings or situations you are facing. Remember that every thought, every feeling, and every connection we have is part of Allah's plan. When someone keeps coming to mind, it's more than just a passing thought. It's an invitation to connect with the One who created you and them. Allah's wisdom is far beyond what we can comprehend, and through these moments, He is guiding you to a deeper understanding of His will. So when someone appears in your thoughts, take it as a chance to draw closer to Allah. Ask Him for guidance, seek His mercy, and trust that through this process, He will lead you and those you care about to peace, understanding, and growth. 5. The healing power of compassion. When someone keeps appearing in your thoughts, it's often a call for compassion, a reminder that someone in your life may need your help, support, or even your kindness, especially during a difficult time. Sometimes we might not even know exactly what that person is going through, but our hearts can feel it. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, places certain people in our hearts for a reason, and that reason is often to remind us of the importance of showing kindness and mercy to others. It could be that the person you keep thinking about is facing struggles that are not obvious on the surface. They might be dealing with emotional pain, physical illness, or a personal hardship that they are not sharing with you. Yet, your thoughts keep returning to them. Allah works in mysterious ways, and the thoughts that keep arising in your heart could be a divine nudge to remind you of that person's need for help. It's as if Allah is drawing your attention to them so that you can extend your hand of support. These thoughts are not random. Allah places certain people in our hearts because He wants us to act on it. He wants us to show kindness, mercy, and empathy, especially when others are struggling. It's easy to think about people when they are happy and healthy, but Allah calls on us to show compassion when things are difficult for them. When someone is struggling, your thoughts about them may be more than just concern. It could be a sign that Allah is asking you to step in and offer something more meaningful. Whether it's reaching out to them with a kind word, offering a helping hand, or simply praying for their well-being, your thoughts about them can be a form of mercy and care. In these moments, you may not always know exactly how to help, but Allah is guiding your heart to feel compassion for that person. Compassion is a powerful force, and when you choose to act on it, you bring healing, not just to the person in need, but to yourself as well. Allah teaches us that showing kindness and mercy is one of the most beautiful acts of faith. In times of hardship, showing compassion can be the bridge between despair and hope. Your kind words, a small gesture, or even a prayer for their well-being can make a huge difference in their life, even if they never know the exact reason why you thought of them. Allah promises to reward those who show mercy, kindness, and compassion. In fact, one of the most beautiful aspects of Islam is the emphasis on showing mercy to others, especially when they are vulnerable. This could be your opportunity to fulfill that command. When someone comes to mind repeatedly, it's like Allah is giving you a chance to act on this beautiful quality. The reward doesn't just come from the act itself, but from the intention behind it. You may not see the immediate effects of your kindness, but rest assured, Allah knows the sincerity of your heart. The act of showing compassion can create a ripple effect, whether it's a comforting message that brings them peace, or a prayer that brings them strength. Sometimes we may feel unsure about how we can help, especially if we don't know the full extent of what someone is going through. But even if you don't have all the answers, Allah has placed you in that person's life for a reason. By simply thinking of them and acting on those thoughts, you might be the answer to their silent prayers. A phone call, a kind message, or just asking if they need anything can be a simple but powerful way to show your support. It doesn't need to be grand. Sometimes, it's the smallest gestures that carry the most weight. The key is to be present in their lives in a way that offers comfort and reassurance. Moreover, Even when the person doesn't appear to need your help directly, your thoughts and prayers for them can be just as significant. Allah reminds us in the Quran that the prayers of one person for another, even when they are unaware, are a powerful means of support. When you pray for someone, even without them knowing, Allah hears you. The act of praying for others is one of the highest forms of compassion. You may never know how much comfort your prayers bring to someone, but Allah does, and He will reward you for your sincere supplication. Compassion is a two-way gift. When you show mercy to others, you open the door for mercy to enter your own heart. It softens your heart and allows you to connect with others on a deeper level. Allah uses these moments to teach us the true meaning of love and kindness, not only for those who are easy to love, but also for those who may be struggling in ways we don't fully understand. By showing compassion, you not only help others heal, but you also help yourself grow spiritually. It brings you closer to Allah, and through this connection, you experience the healing power of His mercy. So when someone keeps coming to your mind, take it as a divine reminder that Allah is calling you to show compassion. It could be a call to reach out, to pray, or simply to reflect on the role that person plays in your life. No act of kindness is ever wasted. No prayer for another is ever unheard. Through these moments, Allah is teaching you the power of mercy, and by acting on it, you not only help someone else, but also strengthen your own connection to Allah. 6. Trust in Allah's timing. There are moments in life when we find ourselves thinking about someone over and over again, and it can be both confusing and overwhelming. You may wonder why this person keeps entering your thoughts, especially when you're not sure whether to reach out to them or how to handle the situation. You might feel the urge to act, to do something, but you're unsure if it's the right time or if you're doing the right thing. It's in moments like these that we must learn to trust Allah's timing, for He knows exactly when the right moment is, and He has a plan for everything, including the people who enter our lives. Sometimes, when someone keeps showing up in our thoughts, it might feel like there's an inner pull, as though we are being guided toward them or meant to do something for them. It can be a strong feeling, like your heart is telling you to act, but your mind is filled with doubt. This is where the lesson of trusting Allah's timing comes in. We need to remember that Allah, in His infinite wisdom, knows when the perfect moment for everything will come. He has placed people in your life at the exact moment you needed them, and He will continue to do so. If someone is frequently in your thoughts, it may be Allah's way of preparing you for the right time to act, whether that means reaching out, offering support, or simply reflecting on your relationship with them. It's important to recognize that Allah's timing is always perfect, even if we don't fully understand it in the moment. We are human, and as humans, we want things to happen according to our own schedules. We get frustrated when things don't go the way we want them to, or when we don't know how to proceed. But Allah's timing isn't bound by our sense of urgency or impatience. He knows what's best for us, and He knows exactly when things should happen. This includes the connections we have with others, whether they're long-lasting relationships or fleeting moments that we need to learn from. Sometimes, the reason someone keeps appearing in your thoughts is because Allah is preparing you for something that will happen at the perfect time, not according to your timeline, but according to His divine wisdom. We often struggle with patience, especially when we feel a deep sense of urgency or confusion about a situation. When someone is on our minds and we don't know why, it can feel like we should do something right away. But this is the time to pause and trust Allah's plan. It's easy to fall into the trap of rushing things, whether it's trying to fix a relationship, push for a conversation, or act on emotions we're feeling. However, rushing without wisdom can lead to unnecessary stress or even make things more complicated. Allah's wisdom, on the other hand, is beyond our comprehension. He knows the best time for everything to unfold, and we must trust in that. If you're unsure about what to do, if you feel like you don't have the right answers, take comfort in knowing that you are not meant to figure it all out by yourself. Allah is in control of everything, and He will guide you to the right action at the right time. When someone continues to appear in your thoughts, take it as a reminder to be patient. Patience is a virtue that Allah emphasizes in many parts of the Quran, and it is through patience that we learn to rely on Allah's wisdom and trust in His timing. Patience allows us to accept that not everything happens immediately, and that there is a divine purpose behind every delay. Allah is teaching us that everything will unfold as it is meant to, and that sometimes waiting for the right moment is just as important as taking action. If you feel confused or uncertain about whether to reach out to someone, it might be a sign that Allah is asking you to wait. He wants you to be patient, to trust that His plan is in motion, and that your role will come when the time is right. In the meantime, while you're waiting for clarity, it's a perfect opportunity to turn to Allah in prayer. Make dua for patience, for understanding, and for guidance in your heart. Ask Allah to help you trust in His timing and to grant you clarity when the moment is right for you to act. Dua is a powerful tool. It allows you to open your heart to Allah and seek His wisdom. When you feel uncertain or restless, turning to Allah with sincerity in your prayer will give you peace and reassurance. Even if you don't have all the answers right away, trust that Allah will provide them when the time is right. His timing is never wrong, and His plan is always better than anything we could ever imagine. As you wait, also take the opportunity to reflect on your own intentions and feelings. Sometimes, the reason someone keeps coming to your thoughts is because Allah is guiding you to understand something deeper about yourself. Maybe it's time to reflect on your relationship with this person, or it could be a chance for self-growth. Allah uses these moments of contemplation to help us learn more about ourselves and the way we interact with others. During these moments of uncertainty, don't rush to conclusions. Instead, trust that Allah is working in your life, even when you can't see the full picture. And when the time does come for you to take action, trust that it will feel right. You won't need to force anything or push against the current. Allah's guidance will make it clear, and the situation will unfold naturally. There's no need to worry or stress about when or how things will happen. Trust that Allah is in control and that He is leading you to the right moment. His wisdom will shine through, and everything will make sense in the end. Your role is simply to remain patient, trust Him, and wait for the moment that He has planned for you. In conclusion, the repeated thoughts of a person in your life are a reminder to trust Allah's timing. Don't rush or force anything. Trust that Allah knows the best moment for everything to unfold. While you wait, rely on Allah's wisdom. Make dua for clarity and patience, and remember that everything will happen when the time is right. By trusting in Allah's perfect timing, you not only find peace, but also grow stronger in your faith and understanding of His divine plan for your life. 7. Allah's way of testing your sincerity. Sometimes we may find that certain people keep coming into our thoughts, and it can leave us wondering why. These thoughts can feel strong and persistent, and in those moments, It's easy to think of them as just passing feelings or random thoughts. However, in many cases, Allah is using these recurring thoughts as a way to test our sincerity, our emotions, and our intentions. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, knows what is in our hearts and what we need to work on in our personal lives. The people who appear in our minds may be part of Allah's plan to teach us something deeper about ourselves, our relationships, and our faith. When someone keeps coming to your mind, it's not just a random coincidence. It could be that Allah is using this person to test your sincerity. Are you thinking of them with a pure heart? Or are you holding on to negative emotions or past grudges that have not yet been resolved? Sometimes we carry pain, anger, or resentment from past experiences, and Allah brings those thoughts to the surface as a way of helping us deal with them. He wants us to reflect on how we truly feel about this person and to evaluate our emotional state honestly. The way we think about others, especially when they are not around, is an important reflection of our own hearts. Allah tests us through our connections with others to see how sincere we are in our feelings and intentions. Are we thinking of them with love, understanding, and kindness? Or are we holding on to hurt, bitterness, or unresolved issues? This test is not always easy, but it's an opportunity for personal growth. If you feel conflicted when thinking about someone, it could be that Allah is trying to show you that there are emotional issues you need to address. These might be feelings of anger, jealousy, regret, or disappointment that you haven't yet dealt with. Allah is teaching us that our hearts must be free of negative emotions in order for us to move forward in life with sincerity and peace. If we are constantly thinking about someone in a negative light, it's an indication that there is something within us that needs healing. Holding on to negative feelings prevents us from moving forward in our relationships and in our faith. Allah wants us to purify our hearts and let go of grudges, not just for the sake of the person we are thinking about, but for our own peace and spiritual growth. He is testing us to see if we can forgive, let go, and move forward with sincerity. It's also important to ask yourself, what is Allah trying to teach me through this connection? This is a crucial question that can help you reflect on the deeper meaning behind the recurring thoughts of a person. Allah does not test us for no reason. Every challenge, every person who enters our lives, and every situation we face is part of His divine plan. These tests are designed to help us grow, to strengthen our faith, and to guide us towards becoming better versions of ourselves. The person who keeps appearing in your thoughts could be part of Allah's plan to show you something about your own character. Maybe you need to learn how to be more patient, how to let go of past hurts, or how to show more compassion. If someone keeps coming to mind and you feel uneasy or conflicted, it's an invitation from Allah to reflect on the emotions that arise in your heart. Are there unresolved feelings that need attention? Perhaps it's time to forgive, not just for the sake of the other person, but for the sake of your own peace. Forgiveness is not always easy, especially when we feel deeply hurt, but it's essential for our own spiritual well-being. Allah tests us with forgiveness to see if we can rise above our emotions and act with sincerity. When we forgive, we free ourselves from the chains of anger and bitterness, and we open our hearts to Allah's mercy. Forgiveness is one of the most profound acts of sincerity in Islam. When we forgive others, we demonstrate that we are trusting Allah's plan and His wisdom. We acknowledge that, just as we seek forgiveness from Allah, we should also extend forgiveness to others. This is a powerful test of sincerity. Can we let go of our pride, our anger, and our hurt to forgive someone else? Allah teaches us that true sincerity lies in our ability to forgive and to move forward with a clean heart. Your heart will guide you, but you must also act with wisdom and sincerity. It's not enough to simply acknowledge that someone is on your mind. You need to take action based on what Allah is showing you through this test. If you're holding on to negative feelings, the test is to release them. If you need to forgive, the test is to find the courage to do so. Allah's wisdom is in the way He arranges these situations in our lives. He knows what is best for us, and sometimes we need to go through tests like these to learn important lessons about ourselves. This test of sincerity can also be a reminder to check your own intentions. Why are you thinking about this person? Are you wishing for something bad to happen to them, or are you hoping for their well-being? Sometimes the thoughts we have about others reveal the state of our hearts. Allah uses these moments to help us purify our intentions and our emotions. If you find yourself constantly thinking about someone, ask yourself whether you are wishing them harm or desiring their good. Allah wants us to have pure hearts, hearts that wish good for others, even if they have wronged us. In conclusion, when someone keeps appearing in your thoughts, it is not just a random event. It is a test from Allah. He wants to see how sincere you are in your feelings and intentions. He wants to know if you can let go of negative emotions and forgive, if you can rise above hurt and act with sincerity. This is a test that helps you grow spiritually, purify your heart, and strengthen your faith. Allah is guiding you to reflect on your relationships, to heal past wounds, and to move forward with kindness, compassion, and forgiveness. Trust in Allah's wisdom and know that through these tests, you are becoming a better version of yourself, one that is closer to Him and to the values that He has taught us. So, why does that person keep coming back into your thoughts? It's important to understand that these thoughts are not just random or fleeting. They are messages from Allah, a reminder of something deeper, a sign of a connection that perhaps you are yet to fully understand, or maybe even a call for compassion. Every thought that arises about someone, whether it's someone you've known for a long time or someone who just seems to pop into your mind unexpectedly, holds significance. Allah speaks to us in ways that sometimes go unnoticed, guiding us through our hearts, and when someone continually occupies your thoughts, it's an opportunity for reflection, growth, and action. When a person keeps appearing in your mind, it's essential to stop and pause. Don't just brush it off as a random thought or momentary distraction. Allah is guiding you to something greater. It could be that He wants you to reach out to that person, offer your help, or simply think about your relationship with them in a new light. Perhaps Allah is placing this person in your heart because He wants you to act with love, kindness, and understanding toward them. It's a chance to practice compassion, or it could be a chance for you to grow spiritually by letting go of any negative feelings or misunderstandings you might have. It's easy to dismiss these thoughts, especially when life is busy and we are caught up in our own struggles and worries. But the reality is, Allah has a purpose for every person He places in your life. Sometimes, the people you think about are there because they have a lesson to teach you, or they are meant to help you reflect on your own actions, thoughts, and feelings. Allah brings people into our lives not just for moments of happiness or ease, but often to challenge us, test us, and guide us toward becoming better individuals. Through these moments of reflection, we have the opportunity to evaluate the state of our hearts, whether we are holding on to grudges, harboring negative feelings, or if we need to work on forgiveness. If you find yourself thinking about someone often, take a moment to reflect on why they are on your mind. Is it a sign that you need to reach out to them? Is there something unresolved between you and them that needs your attention? Maybe Allah is guiding you to make peace with them, or perhaps to offer support if they are going through a tough time. It could be that you need to forgive them, or even forgive yourself for something that happened in the past. Allah uses these moments to help us confront unresolved emotions, to heal broken relationships, and to find peace in our hearts. Another possibility is that these thoughts are a reminder for you to pray for the person who keeps coming to mind. In Islam, making dua for others is a powerful and beautiful act of compassion. If someone is on your mind, it's an opportunity to pray for their well-being, success, and happiness. Allah loves when we pray for others, even when they are unaware. By making dua for someone, you are not only asking Allah to bless them, but you are also strengthening your own connection to Allah. It's an act of selflessness, a reminder that we are all part of a greater plan, and our actions toward others can have far-reaching effects that we may not even see. When you reflect on why someone is repeatedly entering your thoughts, it's a chance to examine your own heart. Do you feel conflicted about this person? Are there unresolved feelings that need to be dealt with? Sometimes, these repeated thoughts are a test from Allah, urging us to confront emotions we might be avoiding. If you feel anger, resentment, or frustration toward this person, Allah may be prompting you to release those negative feelings and make peace. Holding on to negative emotions only weighs down the heart and keeps us from moving forward in life. Allah wants us to let go of the past, to forgive, and to focus on creating positive relationships that bring us closer to Him. Remember, your heart is a guide in this process. Allah often uses the heart to communicate what the mind may overlook. When you feel strongly about someone, especially when they keep coming to mind unexpectedly, it's an opportunity to listen closely to what your heart is telling you. Your heart might be calling for forgiveness, healing, or a deeper connection. But it's important to act with wisdom and sincerity. If Allah is guiding you to take action, trust that He knows the best way forward. Don't rush the process. Don't act out of haste or impulse. Instead, take your time to reflect, to pray, and to allow Allah's wisdom to guide your next steps. In these moments, also take time to turn to Allah in dua. Ask Him for clarity, understanding, and peace in your heart. Ask for His guidance on what to do with the feelings that arise when you think about this person. Allah is the best of planners, and when we seek His help with sincerity, He will guide us toward the right course of action. Sometimes we may not know the answer immediately, and that's okay. Trust that Allah will make it clear in His perfect time. His wisdom is always right, and His plan is always the best. Finally, if you feel like sharing your experience or have any thoughts to add, don't hesitate to express them. Sharing your journey with others not only helps you process your own thoughts, but it can also be a source of support and encouragement for others who may be going through similar experiences. We are all connected, and by sharing our stories, we create a sense of community and understanding. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who might need this message today. If you know someone who is struggling with their thoughts, or who needs to hear that they are not alone in this journey, sharing this message could bring them the comfort and clarity they need. May Allah guide us all toward wisdom, peace, and the understanding that He has a plan for each and every one of us. May our hearts be open to His guidance, and may we act with sincerity, compassion, and faith in His perfect timing. Thank you for watching. Until we meet again, may your thoughts and prayers bring you closer to the path of peace, understanding, and spiritual growth. May Allah guide your heart to wisdom and fill your life with His mercy.